Table just as the engines outside stopped rumbling. The men turned, startled. A tiny girl, no older than 7, stood there with her cheeks streaked in tears, chest heaving, voice cracking as she cried out, "They're beating my mama. Please, please help." If you're still here listening, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because stories like this remind us that heroes still exist in the most unexpected places. The girl's voice trembled so hard the words nearly broke apart before they left her lips. The bar had been loud just seconds before, music thumping, laughter echoing, boots scraping against old wood, but now silence dropped over the room like a heavy blanket. Every biker froze, exchanging looks that carried both confusion and a rising fire. At the center table sat Bear, president of the Iron Vipers Motorcycle Club. A mountain of a man, beard braided, tattoos dark as thunderclouds. He leaned forward, eyes narrowing, not in anger at the child, but in a kind of focused concern that swallowed everything else. "Who's hurting her?" he asked, voice low but steady. The girl sniffed, rubbing her eyes with shaking fists. "My stepdad, and his friends. Mama told me to run. She told me to find help." Then she looked around the room desperately. "You have bikes, you're strong, please don't let them hurt her anymore." Something flickered across Bear's face. A memory, maybe. Something long buried. Without another word, he stood. Chairs scraped. The rest of the bikers rose with him, 20 leather-clad giants forming a ring of silent resolve around the trembling child. "Show us," Bear said. The girl grabbed his gloved hand with her tiny fingers, and the whole group filtered out, engines roaring to life in a furious chorus. She guided them on foot beside Bear's bike, direction quick, fear pushing her steps. The neighborhood they rolled into was a forgotten pocket of town, cracked pavement, boarded windows, and houses sagging under years of neglect. As they pulled up to the girl's home, they heard the shouting before they even killed the engines. Bear handed the girl to Wolf, the quietest of the bikers, who lifted her up gently. "You're safe with me," he murmured. She clung to his vest, eyes wide. Inside the house, chaos. A man's voice bellowed. A crash followed. A woman's scream stabbed through the air. Bear didn't wait. The front door flew open under his boot. The bikers surged in behind him. The stepdad, stocky, red-faced, drunk, spun around, startled. 2 other men hovered behind him, holding bottles, sneering like they thought they owned the place. The girl's mother lay on the floor, shielding her face with trembling arms. "What the hell?" The stepdad started, but Bear grabbed him by the shirt and slammed him against the wall so hard dust rained from the ceiling. "You like hurting people," Bear growled. "Try it on someone who hits back." The room exploded into motion. The 2 friends lunged, but the bikers knew how to handle men like them. It was over in seconds, the house finally quiet except for the broken sobs of the mother sitting up. Bear knelt beside her. "You're safe now." Tears streamed down her face as she nodded faintly. When the girl ran inside, the mother's arms opened wide. They clung to each other, shaking with relief. Minutes later, the police arrived, called by a neighbor who'd heard the commotion. The stepdad and his buddies were taken away in handcuffs. The officers exchanged looks with the bikers, surprised, but thankful. They'd seen the Vipers before, but never like this. As the mother sat on the porch wrapped in a blanket, Bear crouched beside her. "Why didn't you leave earlier?" he asked softly. She looked down. "I was scared. And alone." "You're not alone anymore," he replied. "There's a women's support shelter 2 miles from here. They'll help you get back on your feet. We'll escort you." The mother looked up, disbelief swimming in her eyes. Why would you help us?" Bear's voice softened in a way that didn't fit his rough exterior. "Because once, someone saved me and my mom too." That night, the Vipers escorted the mother and daughter to safety. Engines lined the street as they rode, a protective wall of chrome and thunder. At the shelter gate, the girl jumped off Wolf's bike and hugged him tightly. Then she ran to Bear, wrapping her arms around his leg. "Thank you," she whispered. Bear swallowed hard. "You take care of your mama, okay?" She nodded fiercely. Weeks passed. The girl's mother found work. The bruises faded. The fear disappeared. And every Friday evening, 2 visitors would show up at the shelter's community dinner, Bear and Wolf, bringing toys, food, and a warmth that reached far beyond leather jackets and roaring engines. The Iron Vipers gained a reputation that surprised everyone in town. not just as bikers, but as protectors, as men who'd seen darkness and chosen to stand against it. And the little girl, whenever she heard motorcycles on the highway, her face lit up. Because she knew those weren't just machines, they were the sound of hope. If this story moved you even a little, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Every share helps stories of courage reach someone who needs it. And maybe, just maybe, it inspires another hero out there to step forward when it matters most.